Today on Aqua Kids.
Come along with the Aqua Kids as they get a very special behind-the-scenes look at the Tennessee Aquarium.
Aqua Kids, doing what we have to do. Saving our earth, land, air, and sea. All we gotta do is keep it green and blue. For me and you. Aqua Kids.
Welcome to Aqua Kids. I'm Drew.
And I'm Hannah Jones. Drew, the Tennessee Aquarium has great projects on breeding different species, which means there are a lot of babies around. So today we're going to take a look at baby sharks, baby jellies, and then I might have a surprise for you.
What kind of surprise?
Well, if I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise. You're just going to have to wait. Let's go look at some babies. During my many adventures, I've been lucky enough to meet some wonderful people, including Tom, who works here at the Tennessee Aquarium. He oversees all of the fishes, and today he's giving us a special behind-the-scenes tour of 2 species of sharks that they breed right here. Let's go take a look at them now. Okay, Andrew, we're very lucky we get to see something that most people don't. This is Tom. Tom, this is Andrew.
Hello.
He's
Nice
going
to
to
meet you.
show
Nice to meet
you
you.
some baby sharks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got some great stuff to show you, but you know what, Hannah? I just heard they could use some help feeding the Nickajack exhibit. Would you mind helping them out?
Absolutely, you're in great hands. I'll be back
All right,
later.
Fantastic, thank you. Well, welcome. I'm
Thanks.
glad you're here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about these baby sharks. We've got 2 different species here, and actually there's something behind you there I'd like to show you real quick.
All right, what are those?
These sharks actually lay eggs, and these are called mermaid's purses.
Oh, okay.
And you can see we've got 2 different species. This is a coral cat shark. It's called a mermaid's purse. These species of sharks actually, when the egg is fertilized, it creates a shell, and they actually pin these on the rocks.
Really?
Those little stringy things on the back end here are what attach it to the rock. This is another species. These are the epaulet sharks. And you can see the egg size is different,
Yeah.
but the function is the same. These eggs are pinned. Hopefully they're camouflaged, and when the baby sharks develop, they chew their way out, and they swim out a complete, ready-to-eat, self-sustaining baby shark.
Well, I'm about ready to see some alive. Can we go take a look?
Absolutely. Just drop those in the cup for the
All
next
right.
people. Just set them right there. And here's what we've got right here. We actually have them covered up. So let me uncover them for you. These are the coral cat shark juveniles.
Oh, wow. They are beautiful. So, Tom, how old are these guys?
Well, these guys are, since they've emerged from the egg, a little under 2 months old.
Okay.
And the egg for these guys at about 78 degrees is about 100 days gestation from the time the egg is fertilized and laid until they actually hatch. So these down below are the other species of juveniles we have, which are the baby epaulet sharks.
Oh, wow.
They're called epaulets because of the big circle that's kind of where their shoulder would be.
Yeah. I see that.
And like the coral cat shark, these guys are also Indo-Pacific, although their range is much more restricted, pretty much southern Australia. And what's really interesting with these guys, if you watch, they kind of walk on their fins, almost
I
like a
noticed that.
salamander. Yeah.
Why
So,
is that?
You know, it's just the type of shark that they are. They're one of the few species that do that, and they're known to crawl over the Great Barrier Reef doing that.
So, it's really neat having them here in these tanks, but why are they at the aquarium?
Well, that's a really good question. You know, our main goal here at the Tennessee Aquarium, and I think most aquariums, is to educate the public, to help them understand what's out there. So we have some of these animals in our touch tank where people get to see them every day, and if they're lucky, they get to touch them. But what we're also doing with those animals is we're getting them to breed. And these are the juveniles from our adults that are on exhibit. And so these guys, obviously, if they were born here, you probably are wondering where they came from. And they come from eggs, the eggs I showed you earlier, and I actually have some live eggs right up here in this tank.
Oh, wow.
And I think what we'll do is I'll step up there and candle one, and we'll see if we can see a baby moving inside the egg.
That would be really neat.
All right, let's do that.
Oh, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so you see I'm holding the egg case, or the mermaid's purse, and if you look closely to the right, you can see the little baby shark in there actually pumping his gills.
That is so neat. So, how are they surviving in that case?
Well, there's actually gas exchange that goes on through the egg casing, which is why it's important to make sure that they stay in healthy water, just like the adults. But inside the case, their nutrients come from a yolk, just like when you crack open a chicken egg to make breakfast in the morning. The yellow part, that's the yolk. These guys have a yolk as well.
I think Tom and Andrew may be done looking at the babies now, and we're going to take a look at the big guys.
Hey, Anna.
All right, so we're done with the babies. We're gonna take a look at the big guys, and I have a huge favor to ask of you. Is there any chance the Aqua Kids might be able to assist in feeding sharks? Now, this is something that the Tennessee Aquarium typically does not allow. You can do a behind-the-scenes tour where you can see them being fed.
That's right.
But I thought with our history, you might give these guys.
I suppose for you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What do you think? You ready?
That'll be awesome.
Okay, let's do this.
All right, let's feed the big sharks.
Can you keep a secret? Because coming up later in the show, there will be a close encounter with baby penguins. Shh, don't tell the Aqua Kids.
Now it's time for Aqua Quiz with your host, Drew Cruz.
I'm your host, Drew Cruz, and it's now time for you, the viewer, to test your knowledge with Aqua Quiz. Let's get started. There are many different species of shark that can range from the size of a person's hand to bigger than a bus. The biggest shark is the whale shark, which can be up to 46 feet long. The smallest is the spined pygmy shark, which when full grown is only 7 to 8 inches. So do you know the average length of a shark? Is it A, 72 inches, B, 60 inches, C, 48 inches, or D, 39 inches? We'll have the answer right after the break.
Aqua Kids will be right back.
So have you come up with the answer? Of the nearly 350 species of shark, it turns out that the average length is only 39 inches. That's only this big. Who knew? We'll see you next time with another Aqua Quiz.
Welcome back to Aqua Kids.
My name's Danny. I'm one of the aquarists here, and I coordinate feeding our big...
As I mentioned earlier, the Tennessee Aquarium offers behind-the-scenes tours to the general public. However, there are no hands-on opportunities offered. The Aqua Kids and I were treated to a very special experience. That's right, feeding the animals. Let's see what Andrew is up to.
Hey Matt, so Tom sent me up here and I'm not too sure what I'm doing. So who am I feeding in this tank?
Well, today you're going to help me target train our sandbar sharks.
Okay.
And so you can see we got a basket down in the water.
Yep.
And what we're trying to do is train the sharks to swim right to left through this tunnel, so that eventually we can get them just target trained and pull them right into the holding area.
So what is the holding area used for?
If you need to pull them into their physicals, if you ever needed to catch them or isolate one sandbar from the other, if they were showing aggression to each other, then we could isolate one into the holding area, lower the gate.
Simple.
Just simple. So if by making them conditioned to train through this darkened tunnel, because if you kind of look over there, you can see it's kind of dark.
Yeah.
It's trying to make that transition easier. Otherwise, we have to get in there with divers and kind of self-guide them. And it'd be nice to be able to do that without actual divers in the water and let the animal just kind of go on their own. Be trained to like, oh, there's a feeding pole, let me follow that and go right in. So if you're willing to help us do that, we'll start loading the fish up on the pole and you can, you can start getting to it here.
All right, so what type of fish are these here?
We got some bonita and some Pacific mackerel.
All right, so just slide this in at the
Yeah,
end?
you can see the little slots in the groove. You just want to slide up on the belt, and the pressure of the PVC will kind of just clamp on it.
Is that good?
Yep, looks like you got it.
All right.
So there you have the pole, and just remind how long the pole is. You can kind of whack yourself with it, and others. So then, okay, you can kind of see the sandbars are starting to swirl around you.
Yep.
And again,
lower it in?
Yeah, you can lower it in, that way they get that scent in the water. And what we want to try to do is get them to come, right to left.
She got it.
Oh, that's perfect. Job well done.
Thank you.
I was lucky enough to join the fun too by feeding the sea turtles. It was amazing. Next, Lily and I had the opportunity to feed the giant stingrays. This was done by reaching down, keeping our hands flat and out of the way of their teeth, and giving the stingrays their dinner. What an incredible experience.
So, yeah, you're just going to medium amounts, perfect.
Drew got the assignment of feeding the general fish population, which is a huge job. There were hundreds of fish to feed.
The goal is to keep the bigger fish busy and up towards the top, away from the little fish. Cool.
What a great experience. We cannot thank you enough for the wonderful time that we had here today between feeding the stingrays and the sea turtles and the sharks. The kids and I have had such a great time. Aqua Kids will be right back. Welcome back to Aqua Kids. Continuing on our very special behind the scenes tour here at the Tennessee Aquarium, now we're gonna look at baby jellies. Hey Drew, just the Aqua Kid I was looking for. Okay, we need to cover a little bit about some baby jellies.
Are we eating?
No, jellyfish.
Oh.
So, Tennessee Aquarium has a great program here. I'm gonna send you over to Tasha and she's gonna explain a little more while I go do some work.
Okay.
Okay?
Hey Tasha.
Hey.
So I understand you got some jellies for me here.
Yep, these are actually moon jellyfish that I have.
Cool. How many species do you have in this area?
And down here in the Tennessee Aquarium, we have 10 different species, 6 of which that we culture here.
Oh wow. How do you raise a jellyfish?
Well, they require a lot of flow, so we just keep them in continuous flow, and then they keep growing as we feed them, and we just move them to bigger and bigger tanks.
Oh, there's a ton of them in here. These are the moon jellies, and they don't sting, do they?
They actually do sting their prey, but your skin is too thick, so you can't feel it. So you could touch them if you wanted to.
So how long do they live? Could you tell me about the life cycle?
Moon jellies live about a year in the wild. Here they live a lot longer because they have constant conditions like temperature and flow, but in the wild they have a lot of predators that eat them, and the currents are kind of rough. Hey Drew, take a look at this.
Oh cool, there's so many in there. They're 95% water. How do they eat?
So these guys have stinging cells, so they sting their prey and then transfer them to the oral arms that you see in the center. And then you can see these guys have already had a meal, so you can see that orange horseshoe shape. That's actually the food that they've already eaten in their stomachs.
And then they absorb it?
They eat it like a regular stomach. They're not absorbing it. Here, let me show you another species that we have over here.
What's over here?
These are our Atlantic sea nettles.
I don't see them. Where are they?
These are actually the polyps. This is a different life stage of the jellyfish.
How does a jellyfish reproduce?
So basically the adults have eggs and sperm and they make a polyp, and then the polyp reproduces by budding little ephira. It's just basically a baby jellyfish, and then those jellyfish grow up into the medusa that you're used to seeing.
Wow, so they can do it with asexual and sexual reproduction?
That's correct, yep.
Cool. So Tasha, I noticed that the tanks for the jellyfish are a little bit different than the other animals. Why are they rounded?
Jellyfish require constant flow, so they have to be rounded so they don't get stuck in any corners. If we were to turn off the flow, they would sink right to the bottom.
All right, lead the way.
All right, back here we have some other jellies that are a little bit different. You'll notice these jellyfish are a lot different than the others. They're swimming around. They don't need a rounded tank because they're much stronger swimmers.
What else makes them different from other jellyfish?
So these guys are actually a little bit different than all the other ones we've seen because they don't have tentacles. So they're a different branch of jellyfish, basically.
So they don't sting?
They don't sting. Yeah, you can touch them as well. They have a lot of little mouths and that frilly stuff, but they still produce a mucus that can sting.
Oh, so they're not fish, so what are they?
Drew, they're actually invertebrates, jellyfish are.
Well, Tasha, thanks so much for the backstage pass. I sure learned a lot about jellyfish.
No problem. Thanks for coming out, Drew.
We are still on our special behind the scenes tour, and what we've got here is a baby macaroni penguin. The Aqua Kids are on the other side of that door. They don't know that these babies are here and that they're gonna learn all about them in just a minute. Stay tuned. Oh, hi. I'm so glad you're here. You know, it always excites me to meet young people who love to protect the earth as much as I do. Young people who are pioneering powerful ways to conserve and protect our planet for all of us. I call them eco-defenders. Let's find out what they're up to.
The Don Edwards San Francisco Bay National Wildlife Refuge is the largest estuary on the West Coast, located at the southern tip of the San Francisco Bay. It is 30,000 acres large. This is the first refuge that was created in an urban area. It's right in the heart of Silicon Valley. You know, there's buildings, there's a landfill where Silicon Valley dumps its trash. Already 95% of our bay marshland has been altered, and this 5% left is what a lot of animals are clinging onto. We're located on the Pacific Flyway, which you can think of as like a highway for birds. It's just a very essential stop on their migration route. Without it, birds all up and down the continent would not be able to survive. I came up with the idea for the Junior Refuge Ranger program to teach kids about the refuge, about why it's important that we're here, and then to teach them simple things that they can do to make our world a better place. The kids go on birding expeditions, they go on hikes. Kids get to gather their own water samples. We look at it under the microscopes, and the kids get to see what they found. We also have real models that we show them.
2, 3, wahoo!
We take really complicated concepts in environmental science and turn it into something that any kid can understand. Afterwards, they earn a badge, they earn a certificate.
I think the way that Linnea set up the Junior Refuge Ranger program is so simple that anyone can do it, whether you know a lot about the environment or you don't know anything at all. So she makes it friendly and easy for the kids that come out to use the program.
The most important thing I learned is to keep the wildlife refuge safe from harm.
This is just the beginning of the Junior Refuge Ranger program. The next thing that I plan to implement is a Junior Refuge Ranger passport, where kids can go to all the different refuges in the United States and get their passport stamped.
I am a Junior Refuge Ranger.
For many kids, this is going to be their first connection with nature. It'll be the first time that they come out to a refuge. It's very important to me that this program and the refuge be accessible to people of all communities here. We all have those moments, those crucial moments in our lives that have just shaped us forever. I'm looking to propel the childhood curiosity into lasting environmental stewardship that will echo for lifetimes to come.
Wasn't that amazing? Okay, now it's your turn. If you or someone you know is doing something remarkable to help our planet, let us know about it, and you could be our next eco defender. I gotta go. Aqua Kids will be right back.
Hey, Drew here. Be sure to join us next week as we continue our Tennessee Aquarium adventure to learn about projects to help save endangered Barron's minnows and Asian four-eyed turtles.
I'm Jalen, and this is Earth Edition. Everyone agrees that babies of any species are cute, but raising babies in captivity is very important work. Captive breeding is a controlled way to raise, study, and learn about fish and wildlife. Some species can successfully be released into the wild. This helps to balance the ecosystem and can also help save species from extinction. Captive breeding has a long history recorded back to Europe and Asia. All 7 continents have species survival plans, and many work together by sharing information and even sharing actual fish, plants, and animals. Captive breeding helps biodiversity, meaning variety of life, and a variety of life can be explored through reading, by visiting a zoo or aquarium, or by observing nature in your own community. I'm Jalen, and this has been Earth Edition.
Welcome back to Aqua Kids. Continuing our behind-the-scenes tour of the Tennessee Aquarium takes us to the Penguins Rock exhibit. Ready to meet the Aqua Kids? Hey, Aqua Kids!
Yeah?
Got a surprise for you. Look at our buddy.
Oh my.
This is a baby macaroni penguin, and I'm gonna leave you with Lori Beth, and she's gonna tell you all about these guys.
Yeah, this is an 8-week-old macaroni chick. Not sure if it's a boy or a girl yet. I tend to say he. And he is very curious. He loves to touch anything he can get a hold of.
I see he almost has fur. He's not like waterproof like the others.
No, not yet. And he actually has some adult feathers. All of these on the flippers and all the belly ones are adult, even his little tail.
Aww.
But all of the rest is baby down. And so what we're waiting for is him to lose all of that, and then he can go swim for the first time. It's probably gonna be about 2 more weeks for him. But you can see he already has a lot of personality.
Yeah.
He loves to pick at little things, which is kind of a challenge. It means we do a lot of cleaning in his nest so he doesn't pick up little pieces of food and eat them. We have to make sure he stays safe.
Are his parents here?
They are. His parents are Hercules and Little Debbie, and this is actually Little Debbie's first time to be a mom.
How do the adults respond to you taking their babies?
His parents are actually very laid back, so I can just pick his parents up out of the nest and they can go for a swim, and he loves to be back here and investigate. Some of our other chicks, their parents, they're a little nervous whenever I take their baby away, but they tend to know that I'm going to bring him back.
So, is this type of species endangered?
You know, all species of penguins are protected, but the macaroni and the gentoo, the 2 that we have here, are not listed as endangered. They are protected from hunting and from collecting eggs or feathers out in the wild, but these birds are not necessarily listed as endangered.
And where are they normally found in the wild?
Anywhere from the tip of South America all the way down to the Antarctic Peninsula, so pretty wide range. They don't live around people at all, and they generally have temperatures below 50 degrees.
What's their lifespan?
They usually live 15 to 20 years, but here at the aquarium where there's no predators and there's no food competition, this little guy may live 35 years or more.
Wow, that's great.
Nice.
You got a long life ahead of you, little guy.
Exactly.
So what do you feed them?
Well, we actually are not feeding him yet. We can give him little pieces of smelt or capelin, but he's still being fed by mom and dad. And the way a penguin feeds their chick is not a very pleasant thing to see. They actually regurgitate the food. So they'll eat a whole bunch of fish and they'll spit it up like a little fish milkshake.
When will you find out the penguin's sex?
Well, we'll do physicals in November and we'll take a little blood sample from the chicks and we'll send it off, and within 2 weeks we should know. So we'll end up having a naming contest for this little guy in December.
So what did you think of my baby surprise?
Well, it wasn't much of a baby surprise. Those 8-week penguins were huge.
They were, weren't they? And awfully cute, including the sharks and the jellies. The Tennessee Aquarium does a great job with their breeding programs to help educate and put on display for the public. Remember, it's up to you to keep it green and blue. Help protect our planet, and we'll see you next time on Aqua Kids.
Bye.
Aqua Kids, doing what we have to do. Saving our earth, land, air, and sea. All we gotta do is keep it green and blue.